Hello everyone and welcome back to an official HubSpot Talk Italia, your to-go channel for CRM, marketing automation and digital strategies. Today I'm very happy to introduce a very special guest from HubSpot, Juanita Moreno, who plays a key role in HubSpot Academy. Hi Juanita, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm also really excited to be here.
So for my followers of this Italian YouTube channel, I can again saying that Juanita and I are united by a shared passion for helping others grow in digital marketing. I very passionate about HubSpot. So today I have the opportunity to talk with a senior inbound professor like you. So it is a very pleasure for me. For the icebreaker moment, I have the first question for you. I imagine working with HubSpot Academy is a very rewarding and especially when you see the impact of your work on the user in this community. Do you feel that HubSpot Academy is where you found your professional home?
Oh, that's a really good question. And yes, I do think that. And I would say that one of the things that I love the most about my job is definitely talking to other people. For example, in events like Inbound, which we do every year, getting to know people that are like, oh my God, you've been with me for like the last 2 weeks. I've been learning about Inbound. And it's very exciting, especially when people come to you and they're like, I found a new job because of the Inbound certification, or I was able to get a promotion because I got certified on social media marketing. So like for me, every day is just in my computer creating courses, but then when I see the impact that that content has on others, it is absolutely rewarding for sure.
Okay. Inbound the next year will be in San Francisco.
Yes, that's very exciting. It has been in Boston for more like 10 years. So we're really excited to have it in San Francisco next year.
I hope to can I will participate in for the next edition. But
Right.
about HubSpot Academy, I had the first certification, if I remember correctly, about 12 years ago, and in over the years, I see a growth of this academy. In your opinion, what do you see, and what are the most significant changes in this development?
Okay, there have been like a lot of really big changes in Academy throughout the years. I remember I also got my first certification around 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, because I was working with a digital agency that was a HubSpot partner. And I remember by that time, they only had like a couple of certification courses. They were really, really long. You need to do like a really long practicum. And there were not like a lot of options. And one of the main things for me is that content was only available in English. And I remember when I was working for a Colombian agency, and I was telling HubSpot, like, we need content in Spanish. We need our customers to be able to get certified. We need agencies to be able to get certified. So I would say that maybe switching from only certifications to courses, lessons, and I don't know if you know that we now have Academy on the Go videos, which are really short videos, maximum 3 minutes, and they teach you best practices or demos or product tutorials. So like a kind of like a shift in the format of the content so we can meet people where they are. But I would say that the main change for me, like the biggest milestone for me would be expanding ourselves to other regions and other languages, being more inclusive and making sure that more customers around the world, more partners around the world, and even more students around the world can actually get certified for free. So it can have a bigger impact in helping them grow professionally and also personally. Yeah, I would say that has been my favorite milestone. And that's the reason why I joined HubSpot Academy in the first place. So I'm very thankful for that.
it is a great point because I think that one of the HubSpot superpower is the HubSpot user community, the community of HubSpot user. In your view, what is the role of HubSpot Academy in this community, professional community?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I feel like a software can be very powerful, but if you don't really understand how to use it, it's going to be very difficult for you to make the most out of it. And I feel like Academy has been a place where all of our customers and partners can go to when they need to learn more about the software, but also about strategies and how to implement it. And there's something that people love to do, and it's when they get certified, they share like their diplomas in LinkedIn, and that encourages other people to take the courses or some conversations around it. Or you can even find that companies are hiring only people who have certain certifications. So it starts becoming like a very important part of the community and like a very strong pillar for you to be able to make the most of the tool, because you did like a big investment. You're paying for software and you want to make sure you're using all of the capabilities. So I think Academy is one of those places where you can go and learn how to do things from HubSpot, but also from others. Because we try to invite customers and partners to participate in the courses and teach us good practices, what's working, what's not. So at the end, it's like a place where we can all learn from each other.
I think that there are two main key topic or buzzword, if you want. The first one is AI, and the second one is automation. The HubSpot Academy focuses today on these two skills.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like in general, we try to keep up with tendencies around the world to make sure that we're teaching the most updated concepts, the most updated tools. We do want to make sure that our customers are doing like really nice strategies and finding the value that they're looking for when they buy a tool like HubSpot. I feel like with AI specifically, it has been a very challenging topic because it changes from one day to the other. Like what you know today might not be true in 2 weeks. And I feel like that topic specifically has been very influential for us to move from these big courses that take us like 6 months to create into this Academy on the Go videos that are like 3-minute video that professors can edit themselves, that require, of course, some research because you need to learn about what you're going to be teaching, but it's way faster. I can go through all the process of scripting, recording, editing in just 1 week. So I'm making sure that I'm teaching the most updated concepts out there. So I feel like, yeah, AI and automation, both of them are really important for us. They were really important this year and they're going to be huge next year. And I do feel like to whoever wants to teach about AI or is interested about learning about AI, I think the short format is going to be key because it's going to be the most updated information.
Yes, I think that also your role is changing in our time. I follow you on LinkedIn, and I see every week your short video about HubSpot, and I think that also you are shifting to a more strategic role, a strategic guide as inbound professor. More than previously. I think this is a big change. And but what do you think about the AI as content creator? Your job is okay with the creation, the content created by AI. How do you feel about that?
Oh my God, I felt so scared at the beginning. I was really, really scared because I thought like they don't need me anymore. Like there are software out there, you just tell them a topic and they're gonna they're gonna give you a whole course, like a 6-hour course with a person talking about that topic, and it takes me like 5 months to develop that course. So I was really, really worried at the beginning, I have to be honest. But I think the more we learn about I think it's clearer that it's more like an assistant rather than a replacement for human beings. I think we're not yet there where you can just replace human beings with AI and you're going to have the same outcome and the same impact at the end. I think I like to see AI as an agent, and I'm going to be honest, I use it a lot. It used to take me a lot of time to script. I use AI a lot right now, and it's saving me a lot of time, and I'm really happy about that. But I do think that the human interaction is super important, and it's always going to be. So for sure, my role is shifting. It's going to keep shifting, I'm sure. But I'm hoping that as it does, I'm going to be able to focus more on creative things, being more strategic, having more conversations with students, with other professors, and then automate those pieces of the content creation process that are not as exciting, that are very repetitive and boring. So yeah, I changed from being really scared a year ago to being really excited about it right now. I want to use it in my advantage, and I think everyone can as well. And I think it's very common to feel a little bit scared because it is true that AI is going to make some jobs disappear. That is going to happen. But I think, and it's what it looks like, it's also going to generate a bunch of new roles and new jobs that we cannot imagine right now. So I think it's just every one of us, we need to keep up, just understand what's happening, try to learn about it, try to make the most out of it, but definitely keep evolving and changing because the world is changing really, really fast.
So you haven't created your avatar yet?
No, I don't want to do
Okay.
that. I want to keep my face just to myself. I don't know if I'm going to get there eventually, maybe.
I have a segment in this talk dedicated to tips for the beginners, for those just starting out. So, for marketers that are follow this talk, what is your advice? What advice would you give on how to leverage HubSpot Academy for their career growth?
Perfect. I think I do get this question a lot. And what I usually like to recommend is I think the inbound and the inbound marketing certifications are very powerful. I still see a lot of marketers and a lot of salespeople trying to sell the old way, where they're interrupting people and trying to sell them without them needing it. And I think that shift that the inbound methodology or the inbound philosophy gives you, it's very powerful because it helps you become more like a helper rather than a seller. And I think as consumers, we don't want to be sold to. I can do it myself. I have a lot of resources to do it. I don't want someone pushing me to buy something. So I think I would start with the inbound certification and the inbound marketing certification, just so you can kind of like get into that shift of helping people. People want to be helped. They want to be guided. So how can you help them do that? And then coming back to AI, I would say try to keep up with everything that's happening with AI, because AI, it's not going to replace you, but someone who uses AI to their advantage might replace you. So you just want to keep up with that and make sure that you're using it and you know your way around it.
Oh, I think it's a great advice. Thank you for sharing that. Now let's move on a topic that I know is very close to your heart, Juanita. You created content in Spanish for HubSpot Academy, and I'm working on building educational content in Italia. So we have the same job in these two countries or part of the world. How important is it, in your view, for content to be available in users' native languages?
I think it's super important. It is so important, and I've seen it like in person. As I told you before, I used to work for a digital agency, And I remember we were doing that shift from like a regular digital agency to like a HubSpot partner agency, and not having a blog in Spanish, the academy courses in Spanish, it was very challenging. So I remember it was like 2 or 3 people from the agency that spoke English. We needed to take all the courses and translate all of that to the rest of the team, because education is key. It's the only way that you're going to make the software work or the strategies work. It's if you know your way around them. So if you don't have access to that content, it's going to be a disadvantage for you. And I think something that was key for me, it's because I speak English and Spanish. I've never thought about that. It's just, it came very natural to me. I go to a course and I understand what it's being said there. And then I remember someone in the agency was like, if that course was in German, would you get something from it? And I was like, maybe not. No, I would be completely lost. So we don't want people to be lost. We want them to be empowered. We want them to be knowledgeable about the things and the strategies that they're going to implement. So I think it is super important. And there's also like a second piece to that, which is not necessarily the language, but the region, like aspect and the nuances that we have culturally. It's not the same selling in the US as it is selling in Latin America. We have different strategies, we have different personalities, we connect in different ways. You cannot go and sell something to someone in Colombia and just go directly to like the topic, like, okay, let's talk about business. Like, no, we need to talk about soccer and the weather, and we need to talk about my family and yours and what you're going to do on vacation. We need to do like this chit chat first so we can break the ice, feel comfortable, and then move towards that selling conversation. So if we keep teaching people how to sell based on NAM, what they do in the States, how they do it in English, we're not only sacrificing that language aspect, not being able to teach it to these people, but also we're sacrificing that cultural aspect that it's so important. It's super important. And I think that's what I like the most about this role. It's not only the possibility of speaking in Spanish and creating content in Spanish, but also meeting partners and customers in Bolivia, Peru, Colombia, España, and like being able to take all of those insights and really tailor that content to like our needs, how we live, how we negotiate, how we talk. I think that it's very, very exciting, and it's also very important.
I agree with you, and the feedback that I received were the same in Italia. It's the same for me. But now we are at the end of this talk, and I ask you if you can give me a little spoiler. Are there any new courses that you and your team are working on HubSpot Academy?
Okay, I think AI is definitely going to be one of the main things for sure. I don't expect for us to have any big course on AI because as we were saying, everything is moving so quickly that we're probably going to be launching a bunch of videos about AI and making sure that our customers make the most out of it. I can also tell that updating content, it's going to be a huge thing for us. The tool, HubSpot, it's evolving so fast. We're incorporating so many different functionalities, improving them, making the tool more robust. And of course, the courses that we created about sales software, marketing software a couple of years ago, everything has changed so much that we want to make sure that we have the most updated information. So I think AI is going to be huge, and updating content is also going to be huge. And that's one of the biggest challenges for us content creators.
Great. I'll see your new courses in HubSpot Academy. So, Juanita, thank you for your time, for this insight, and for the incredible work you and the team are doing at HubSpot Academy. Greetings from Italy, and thank you for this talk. And I think it will be very useful for the Italian HubSpot users.
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
See you next, and bye everyone. Thank you for now.